to my channel. As you can see, I have changed my background just a little bit. I have strung up some lights to feel a little more festive, but I don't know, I kind of like these in general, so I may end up just keeping them for my general background. But enough about my background and holiday decor. You guys are probably here because you want to learn a little bit more about the new collection that Rimmel has launched. It is all about pinks and pearlescent shadows, as well as some demi matte lipsticks. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about this collection as well, make sure you keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. The first item that I'm going to talk about in this collection is this beautiful palette right here. This is the Crimson Edition Magnifies Eyeshadow Palette. And when you look at these colors here, what do they remind you of? Just take a second. Did you guys figure it out? Because when I saw this palette at the drugstore, I did pick it up from Walmart. It was around the $11 or $12 mark. I realized very, very quickly that it was almost identical to the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. So if you see these two palettes kind of side by side, you can see how a lot of the shades are very, very similar. These palettes match each other so brilliantly. If you don't want to spend the 50 some odd dollars on the ABH palette, I highly recommend you pick up the Rimmel palette instead. I am wearing this eyeshadow palette on my eyes today, and I'm gonna go through which colors I use and also insert a couple of clips of me applying them. First off, I started off with this dusty mauve color over here, and I put that right into my crease, and I blew it out as much as possible by using small round brush strokes on the outer corner of my eye, and then more windshield wiper motions the closer I got to the inner corner. After this particular color, I did go into this deeper red tone or berry tone color over here. I wanted to add a little more depth and dimension in my crease, so I took out a Wayne Goss brush that was a little more of a finer tip, and I dug that right into my crease to add some extra definition. And you can see how surprised I am with the amount of pigment that comes onto this brush. I mean, this shade is phenomenal, and it blended out with no issues. There was no patchiness. It just looks stunning on the eyes. Once I had those matte colors down, I definitely had to start working on my lid color, and I did start off with this pearl toned color over here. This one is so pigmented. Oh my goodness, guys. I put this all over the inner corner of my eyelid, and it immediately just brightened everything up, and I'm hoping it's translating on camera just how beautiful it looks. Next, I went over to this rose gold color over here. It looks a little more gold in the pan, but once you actually apply it to your eyes, you definitely get more of a rose gold effect because it's got some really nice pink pearl in it. So that's what that color looks like, and I put that sort of in the middle part of my lid. 3/4 of the way across my eye, I ended up going into this color over here. So this is obviously a deeper, more rose toned color, and this one here went on beautifully. Very, very pigmented, and into that color I decided to blend these two brown matte colors here alongside the crease color that I use, this deeper berry tone color. I applied that on the outer corner of my eye and sort of buffed it out into a wing shape almost, just so I can really exaggerate the color a little bit more and have it blend seamlessly with the shimmer color. On my lower lash line, I used these two brown matte colors, and I just buffed it out. I added a little more of this shiny pearl color on the inner corner of my lower lash line just to add a little more brightness, and that was pretty much it. A little bit of liner, some mascara, and I was ready to go. Honestly, guys, I was so impressed with this palette. I thought it went on the eyes seamlessly. I had no issues blending. The pigmentation pigmentation is totally there. The packaging is the same as all of the other Magnifies palettes. It is a plastic palette. On the back of the palette, you get a mini tutorial on how to create a look using all of these colors in here, which is helpful for anybody who is just starting off in makeup. And you also have the ingredients on the back here. I'm gonna put on my glasses to talk about the ingredients just because they're written in such a fine print back here. But from what I can see, this is a talc and mica based formula, which is pretty normal for almost all of the Rimmel palettes. It does contain carmine, which is crushed beetle for anybody who is wondering. So that means this is not a vegan palette. So if that is a concern for you, this of course does not qualify as vegan, nor does it qualify as cruelty free. It does not have a bunny sticker anywhere. This formula also contains ultramarines, so if you do have really sensitive eyes, you may want to be aware of that because I know that can cause some irritation. Aside from the ingredients, the shelf life of this palette is 30 months, which is quite generous, and you do get 14 grams of product, which again, for the price point, is pretty good. And for anyone who is wondering, this palette and formula is manufactured in China. I do love this and I highly recommend it. I love how the Rimmel formula just wears on the eyes. I can usually get about 6 hours worth of wear with an eye primer with no creasing at all and no touch-ups required. Anything beyond that, I do need to powder down my eyes a little bit because they do get a little bit oily. But what I love is that the pigmentation does not fade. The colors stay nice, bright, and vivid. Another new item that Rimmel released alongside the eyeshadow palette are these lipsticks right here. These are the Stay Satin liquid lipsticks. So as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the matte formula that Rimmel has. Nothing wears the way that lipstick wears, and it's priced around $6 to $8.99 depending on where you pick it up. Really affordable, and it is the best bang for your buck in terms of a liquid lipstick at the drugstore. Highly recommended. And because I have such a deep set love for the matte formula, I thought I was gonna love the satin formula as well. After several weeks of testing out this formula, I think I like it just as much as the matte version. It is a little more sticky just because it doesn't dry down to a complete matte, but I do love the pigmentation. I love that your lips still look juicy with this color on. It just makes them look plump and luscious because they still have a bit of a sheen to them and it's not just a complete matte formula, you know? The color that I'm wearing on my lips today is this one right here. It is called It Girl, and it is a really beautiful rose toned nude. The other nude color that I have is called Shoulder Pads. I love the name of this color. This one also has a pink undertone to it, and it looks very similar to It Girl, except It Girl has a little more of a deeper undertone. This one here is a little more light, but it's still a beautiful and neutral, and it'll go with just about anything. Rimmel did launch a bunch of colors in this particular formula, but I only picked up a handful. Of course, I don't have that much money to spend, number one. Number two, I know I'm not going to get use out of all of the colors that they launched, so I really just picked up the ones that I know that I'm going to wear pretty frequently. The next color is Obsession. Now, Obsession is so much fun. It is a really loud, vibrant fuchsia pink color. After Obsession, we have this beautiful, fun purple color called For Sure. I think it's such a funny name. Rimmel is not disappointing so far. This looks like a really cool purple color to wear for the summertime. You might even be able to pull this off in the fall, maybe even in the winter. Hell, who cares? Makeup has no rules, so we're just gonna roll with whatever we feel like. I had to pick up the red that Rimmel launched in this formula because I love a Firestarter. So Firestarter is the red matte color that they have. This one here is called Radical, so radical but radical, you know? Again, not disappointed with the name. And this red, oh my goodness. It's a true red that looks so stunning on the lips. It is going to be your go-to holiday lip color. I guarantee you that. And finally, if you want a deeper, more burgundy, sort of berry toned red, Have a Cow is the one you should turn to. Have a Cow, oh, is so beautiful in tone. It is not patchy like some other colors can be in this particular color. It goes on smoothly, it sets in place really well, and the color is just phenomenal. And that is it. Those are all of the new products that I saw in Rimmel's recent launch. They do have beautiful packaging. I think the colors are stunning. I love this new satin formula for their lipsticks. Like I said earlier, if you are looking to save some money, I would highly recommend picking up this palette rather than spending your hard-earned money on the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I really hope you guys enjoyed this overview / review of all of these items. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. If you want to connect with me offline and see what keeps me busy when I'm not sitting in front of the camera, make sure you connect with me on all of my social media. I'm going to make sure to link everything for you in the description box below. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you are all having an amazing day no matter where you are in the world. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.